My name's Amanda Binge, I'm 35 and I was diagnosed back in 2009 with a hole in the heart and I had a cleft mitral valve which I had repaired and I've been supporting Cambridge United for as long as I can remember, so yeah, I've supported them from a really young age. I played football. Anyone that knows me well how much I love football. And I've played football from a really young age, and I started to get sort of symptoms of being out of breath sort of around the age of 11, 12, and on seeing my GP they actually misdiagnosed me for many years as having asthma, and it wasn't until I got into my sort of late teens, early 20s that the symptoms become worse. So I really struggled with my breathing, very tired, and it was basically, I decided to go to the gym. I thought it was just general unfitness. Decided to go to the gym and they told me that I had a very fast resting heart rate to get it checked out, which is what I did at the doctor's, got it checked out, and it kind of went from there really. I was diagnosed with the heart condition which I'd had from birth and had it operated on in 2010. Every time I went to the GP, they diagnosed me with asthma. I had sort of inhaler after inhaler. They got progressively stronger, and they obviously didn't used to do a lot. And yeah, it wasn't really for the lady that actually done the obs at the gym who encouraged me to go back to the GP and sort of, you know, pursue it further. And they listened to my chest when I got to the GP and found that I'd got a heart murmur. And then I had tests going from there and it went on from there. You know, they basically told me if it was diagnosed 2 years sort of later, it'd been irreparable. And if it wasn't diagnosed at all, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now because I would have probably not been here by the time I was 35. So it's obviously played a massive impact on my life, you know, which I'm very, very thankful for. So much so that I was actually able to go back and play football for a couple of years, you know, and obviously I'm still here and you know, thankfully I've got a pretty healthy, normal life now. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, it can sort of happen to anybody. I think that's the biggest thing, you know, in any heart condition. I had mine from birth, but, you know, conditions can happen sort of later on in life, and you know, it's really important if you're sort of feeling unwell, talk to somebody, go and get some help, but also to just kind of not be scared of it. It took me a long time sort of mentally to get over it. I think physically I got over it quicker than I did sort of mentally. It's sort of coming from somebody who was sort of a well person, so to speak, to then having life-saving surgery was a lot to kind of take on. You know, I was sort of only 21, so yeah, I would definitely say to anybody, you know, that's having issues or knows people, really tell them to get sort of checked, go and get some help, and just talk about it really. And if you are diagnosed with something, then you know, try not to let it affect your life and live as best you can really. And anything, you know, your heart is so important. So you know, and it's sometimes it can be something, you know, very minor, and even mine was quite major. I still managed to kind of have mine corrected, and it's given me my whole quality of life back. So I was lucky that I had a happy ending. So I think if mine was maybe caught a bit earlier, you know, it would have had less of an impact on my life potentially. But you know, there's never a bad time to go and get help and go and get it checked out.